Day 5 of making a game every day. The biggest challenge today was accepting that it's an iterative process, even if the scope is small. I wanted to make a game that has a bit more longevity to it. I've seen a lot of games where they take a classic game and add incremental mechanics. I thought it'd be interesting to pick a traditional game to try it with. I researched desert games and came across Mancala. I think this game is played in most countries, so it's not surprising to see it on the list. The mechanics are fairly simple. You dish out tokens from a pot to the others in order. You score the tokens that fall in your end pot. This is a single player version, so there's a lot of rules missing. The tricky part was how the player would control the game, and this is where I spent a lot of time iterating. First I wanted to drag and drop from each pot. Then I wanted to show a cluster of tokens rather than a number. After some work, I found dragging is not very comfortable when playing a lot, and counting tokens all messed together is pretty hard late game. I think the switch to tapping and numbers made the game a lot clearer. Code is a formal problem-solving language. When I write code, I first make it work, hard code things, I make a mess, then I make it pretty. I tighten the interface, I get rid of unused code. It's a process of exploration as much as it is refinement. I think it's good to refactor and re-engineer. Your understanding of the problem, the constraints, and the functionality you need will evolve over time. This connects nicely to what I mentioned yesterday, the single responsibility principle. The more well-defined and encapsulated your scripts are, the easier you will find refactoring to be. If you have a meteor projectile script, the scope and function of the script is not clear. If you have a linear movement script and a destroy when invisible script, it's simple to understand what each script should and shouldn't do. There's a whole discussion of the right thing versus worse is better ideologies in programming. I generally think worse is better is vastly more pragmatic. You should be willing to rework code, and when you write the code, you should have that in mind. There are many techniques that programmers use to make working with systems easy. Orientation with its encapsulation helps organize everything, but Unity goes a step further with agent-oriented programming. Each game object is an agent which can independently interact with the world. For example, the tutorial pop-up I have has no connection to the rest of the game. It's completely autonomous. Anyway, this is the game I came up with in 3 hours. It's the classic Mancala game, but now you've got an upgrades button. I'll let the game play out until I get an upgrade. Now that I've got some points, I can buy an upgrade. There's various upgrades that increase the number of beans or increase your score. I was quite happy with this game. I ended up playing for about 20 minutes. Here's the time lapse.